Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on our June 1st weekly meetup. We're going to be covering a few topics today. Uh, First of all, we're going to discuss Jupiter Swap and where we're at, what our status is at for the approval process. We're going to talk about the Twitter campaign that we just had a few days ago and discuss the results. Um, we're also going to discuss an entire new family of investors that are willing to join us, and there is some very good potential upside, up to $100,000 there. Um, we had a second meeting with Mog. He's the entrepreneur and marketing expert that I was telling you guys about before. We can discuss details about that. We are also launching a new ISV with developers, so that's very exciting. This is the community's way of being able to create a sustainable business model um, for a project not entirely related with the token itself, but we can discuss that. Um, the last week's meetup will also be posted shortly after this meeting. We had to go through the learning the learning curve as far as getting uh, the video edited and uploaded with the thumbnail. So that'll be done afterwards. And just a final reminder, guys, don't forget to like and retweet the burns. Um, it's tedious, but it's very simple. So if you want your bags to grow, just make sure to help us build our social media presence. All right. So that being said, let's go on with the first thing, the Jupiter swap. So Jupiter swap, we have been approved by the main dev Slorg. We need another approval from another dev on that team, and I will be periodically checking in on them to get that done. Uh, but we're pretty much in the clear now. So once we get that second approval, they're going to merge our PR into the strict list, and we will now be part of the code base of the Jupiter swap. And so what I mean by that, so when you go here and you go to the TradeBot buy website, oops, I went to the wrong one, but we go to buy TradeBot here, right? And you go to buy on Jupiter swap, we're going to have this little warning right here not be there anymore. So we will be officially accepted by the Jupiter Swap application. And then on top of that, if I go ahead and I connect the Soulflare wallet, let's see what. Let's go back here. When you go to Soulflare and you look at, I don't have any TradeBot in here, but if you had TradeBot in here too, that little exclamation point would be on there as well. That should get cleared off. But if it's not, then I will contact Soulflare to make sure that it gets cleared off. Any questions on that? Okay. Let's talk about the Twitter campaign. Oh man, the Twitter campaign. So the Twitter campaign was done with Murda on Thursday, if I remember correctly, and the results were kind of mixed. We paid for a full thread, and we started out with 318 wallets and with 38 followers. So I don't know if you guys can see this here. This is what this is what was thrown out. This tweet. The first thread is TradeBot is powered by an advanced trading algorithm. It had our logo, and then he displayed the second tweet that showed a screenshot of the TradingBot platform's performance as well. Basically here, the blues are the buys and the yellows are the sells. So this pretty much shows everybody exactly, like, not exactly, but I hid some information for proprietary purposes, but you can see right here that it is doing the buys and sells. And so that campaign, initially, we learned a few things from it. One, it takes a little bit of time for a Twitter campaign to actually start producing results. The person that we paid for this had a lot of bots. So his bots were liking and retweeting the campaign itself, the post. And it was just so obvious. There was a bunch of dumb comments, like uh, much programming good or something. It's like they were trying to be funny, but it didn't come out as funny. It was just stupid. And you saw it multiple times. So, uh, but We thought when we were looking at this, we're like, oh my goodness, this is a scam. I mean, we're not going to get anything from this. But somehow, all of those retweets hit. They hit a real network of people, and the wallets just started coming in. So at the time of when I put this timestamp in, or when I put this in, we had five. We hit our goal of 525 wallets, and then on top of that, we have an additional 300 wallets that we have to process. Um, but then we stopped sending money out because we noticed that when you go back here, we noticed that a lot of these people were just selling the airdrops, and they were basically they're called airdrop farmers. They'll come in, they'll create multiple accounts, they'll get the airdrop, and then they'll try to sell it immediately. And so we decided to stop sending it out. This is in fairness of the holders, right? Because they're bleeding us, and we have an automation team now. So a Frisco kid has a 20 plus years in automation, and within a couple hours, he was able to put together an application for us to actually look into the blockchain itself and make sure that these people do not have TradeBot already, and we're also checking to see if they have already sold. So we're processing that this weekend, and we'll be able to pay them out. We want to honor our word, right? But there will be some turbulence here because there's probably going to be a few more sales after this. But don't worry about that. We're going to just hold and continue on. Any questions on that? Okay. So takeaways from that. It was mixed results. It was kind of good. You know, we got to our wallet goal. We were able to actually get accepted by, we got verified by Jupiter Swap, which is, that was the milestone that we wanted to reach. And we actually increased our followers. So we originally, we had 38 followers, and at the time of this writing, it was 545. I think we have more now, but that's helping us increase our social media presence. Would we pay for this again? No, no, we're not paying for that again. And so yeah, we'll be researching other avenues as well, and we'll talk about that. Okay, so now let's go back to the agenda here. Next thing, ooh, this is really, really interesting. So we are in discussions with an entire family of investors moving in. Okay, so the gentleman that I'm talking to, it was my former business partner. He's the best salesman I have ever met in my life. This guy is ridiculous. People would watch him, like he's the kind of guy that he would be on the phone and people would just congregate at his office and just sit down and watch him perform. Like that's how awesome it was. And so he's very interested. I don't want to go into too many details, but basically he has already a lot of crypto and he wants to put in the bulk of it. As a sales professional, I mean, I'm you know, I'm I'm following his judgment, basically. So he understands, you know, what we're trying to go for as far as the meme coin's concerned. But he does want to go through me or go through some of the not the document, but going through the website itself and trying to remove some trigger words and making it better for him so that he can go in and present this to potential buyers. So we're working on that together. He's also bringing in his family as well, and so his brother, brother-in-law, sister, like he wants to bring everybody else in also, and we want to be able to get him in a good position because he's bringing so many people. So that's why we're postponing the marketing until we think he's situated and ready. And then once he does that, then we'll go forward with the public marketing. We're probably going to be doing some OTC sales. What that means is he's going to be buying directly from the dev wallet. So all the proceeds of that are going to go into TradeBot itself, and then TradeBot will then, you'll notice that the burns will get higher, and that's because we're following that strategy. But once we get everybody situated, then the final portion of his investment will actually go into the vending machine itself, so that the price goes up, and so that pretty much it puts everybody at ease, right? All the people that are coming in, we want to make sure that the price does go up for them so that they feel comfortable. Because I mean, we have our little moments of history here, right? This was the first dump, and then people started freaking out. This was coin market cap. This was just a bunch of snipers coming in buying, and then there was a quick pump and dump, right? And then this gradual decrease is all of the people who bought slowly getting out. I wish they had held, but and then we also have our airdrop, which is basically here, right? You see a slow descending, and that's why the airdrop was so cheap. Because I knew about these guys. I didn't want to give them like $50 airdrops because man, it would have hurt our price. But we're basically here, and so we're positioning ourselves to get these new investors in, and so that we just build more of a foundation for ourselves. Any questions on that? Okay. Next one is so we had a second meeting with Mog. He's our entrepreneur and marketing expert that I told you guys about 2 weeks ago, and amazing conversation. He was showing us how to build email lists on the fly using based on targeting specific groups like crypto groups. And I mean, you could tell that he's very experienced. He owns 4 companies. He has development teams around the world, one in Europe and one in Africa. So he's taking advantage of the cost per work dynamic there, and just very very bright guy. He's a devout Christian as well. Um, but one of the things that we were talking about was like, okay, what is the goal that we're trying to reach here? And the goal is we want to get to 100 million market cap, right? So we actually went backwards from there. What does it take to get to 100 million market cap? And I wanted to explain that to you guys. So if you look here, this is our current market cap of 1.1 million. And you can see here that the liquidity in our liquidity pool is $114,000. So if you've been looking at this and studying this, you're going to notice that the ratio is around 10. Okay, so whatever the liquidity is, multiply that by 10, and that's what your market cap is going to be. Okay, so if we want to have 10 cents, which is 100 million, we then work backwards. So 100 million divided by 10 means that we need $10 million in our liquidity pool. And when you scroll down here to the pool TradeBot here, the TradeBot has to be worth, you can see that they're both the same right here, right? So the pool TradeBot here is 57,000 and the pooled Solana. So the Solana in the pool is worth 57,000. 57 plus 57 is $114,000, okay? So if we want this thing to be worth $10 million, then that means we need $5 million in the pooled Solana, okay? And so we were looking at that, and $5 million sounds like a really big number, right? Like that means we actually have to sell, or we have to people have to 500 or $5 million worth of people have to then buy in. So we were looking at the numbers. We're like, okay, so let's say there's an average investment of $500. And so by taking that average of $500, the number of buyers that you need is 10,000. And Mog's eyes lit up. He's like, that's doable. That is totally doable. So, I mean, he started getting very excited about this because he's used to, dealing with large campaigns, 100,000 people per day hitting a site. So he is very stoked about that. Okay. And we're very stoked about that too. So, talking to Mog, he's very, he understands how to put together a game plan as far as market's concerned. So we're just working on creating mini milestones and figuring out how we can set up the marketing campaign to be able to get those results, basically. So that's very exciting. He is a firm believer in content, though. So we're gonna have to create 90 days worth of content so that we can slow drip the messaging to his contacts or the people or our leads basically, And the reason for that is because he explained that spam does not work. It's all about the slow drip process. If you can do that and show value, people are much more accepting of your message. And then from there, you slowly guide them into the purchase itself. So he's gonna help us work with that and get that moving. Does anybody have any questions? So we're very excited about that. Okay. Next thing, we are launching an ISV with developers. So I'm very, very happy about this. This is kind of a I wouldn't want to say charity, but it's kind of a cool way. I see it as being able to help get some money to devs, into the pockets of devs, especially in our economy right now. Um, Junior devs is very, 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 very difficult for somebody to find a position as a junior developer right now. So with this ISV that we're setting up, we're giving the opportunity to 5 developers to be able to work on this project for around 2 months, and they'll be able to get paid a bounty of TradeBot, so that they get rewarded for their efforts, and so that it provides some hope, to people so that they can continue on their journey as a software developer. Uh, we're going to be setting aside 20 million TradeBot for this. So right now it's worth around $23,000. They will go towards paying the developers and developing this B2B project. And remember from last week, the B2B project is going to be a team of developers, or setting up a business where they reach out to other businesses like mom and pop shops, and they want to get them upscaled to work on the internet. So that'll include data management, cloud hosting, updating their website, and making sure that they're like a point of sale platform so that they can process their transactions. Uh, Devante will be leading that up. He already has some software set in place. It's not completed, but it has to be finished. But he'll be working with the developers and training, and also uh, completing the project as well. So congratulations to everybody, and Godspeed with that. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. And so last week's meetup will be posted shortly after this meeting. The reason I said that we have on-ramp, I'm trying to delegate tasks out, and we just got a new video editor, so she had to learn how to use the software. She was able to get it done actually on Tuesday, but we had issues with our thumbnail being too big, and I did not have the time to downscale it. So I'm going to be doing some more training with her, so she can do it, and then we'll be able to get these weekly meetups out into YouTube promptly. Okay. And then finally, we do have all of these other plans in place, right? I mean, it's very exciting to have the investor family coming in. It's very exciting to have Mog eventually join us and be able to start producing, these automated campaigns. But things are not set in stone, right? We still need to have a backup plan, and our backup plan is, of course, still we want to increase our social media footprint, right? Um, and so do not forget to like, retweet uh, any of the tweets, the burns. We do have a official tweet channel, which is right here. So the official tweets channel is right here. Just go in there periodically, and when you're going to see all these tweets go out, just click on the link, and then you can go ahead and then just like and retweet, and just do that periodically. And if you can do that, you're helping us build our footprint. Okay. Oops, wrong window. Okay, and let's see here. I think that pretty much covers it. Okay, so we've covered everything. I will open the floor for questions. We have about 8 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I've got one. Go ahead. Go for it.
Oh no, I was going to talk about like, was there someone that was messaging people on this Discord? Did we cover that last week, or is that something you want to cover?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So Guys, for those of you who are new to the crypto world, there are scammers. The crypto world is filled with scammers. Okay. In fact, 99% of all the projects are scams. You don't even know about them because they die so quickly. So you have to be on guard at all times. People will be DMing you, sometimes impersonating an admin or a mod, or they'll be impersonating me, and they're going to be asking about, uh, you know, they might be asking like for your secret phrase, or they're going to try to get you on a path where you eventually give them a secret phrase, or they'll give you a website where you click on it and then you approve. And if you approve, they'll then take all your money. Okay. So you have to be very, very vigilant. Okay. And so let me explain real quick, like what you should be looking for. Okay. So if you go to a strange website, right, and you're not familiar with your website, going to the strange website itself is not that risky. It's still risky, right? Because they might download cookies or weird stuff on your computer. But the wallets are actually very secure. Okay, wallets are very, very, very secure. The issue though is when they give you this. Okay, so when you have to trust the site before you actually click connect. If you click connect, you are now giving permissions to the website itself. And if the website is a bad actor, that's when they can start taking money. Okay? So you always, when you're getting this approval, make sure you read it. Do not just click, do not get into the habit of just clicking. Make sure you're reading what's happening, or make sure that you only go to sites that you trust. If you go to Jupiter Swap, that's fine. This is a site you can trust. And if this is the only site that you go to and the TradeBot site, then you're safe. Okay? If you are going to go into crazier sites, then do not use your main wallet. What you want to do is create a whole new wallet. Actually, what I would recommend is uh, download something like VirtualBox. So it's a virtual computer that you're in. That way they can't, if there's a hack, you can just delete the VirtualBox. So you get the VirtualBox, you then create a whole new wallet, you send Solana to that wallet, and then you can mess around with these other sites if you really want to. That will kind of protect you. But even then, like, you gotta be very, very careful. If you don't even like, if that's not your thing, that's great. You're fine just going to Jupiter Swap and TradeBot, and then that's it. Another thing is they're gonna tweet. People will direct message you on Discord randomly. You can just block them. And then on top of that, if somebody says something in the chat, then what you can do is you report them right here under where are we? You report them under here, scam reports. So basically, what you do is you go to scam reports, and you can then time a person's name, Frisco Kid. I'm using Frisco Kid as an example, even though he's a mod. You can say Frisco Kid is a scammer, and then Frisco Kid would then go in and then ban the individual, or any mod can go in and ban the individual. Okay. All right. So, any other questions?
Yeah, so someone told me about can you keep your wallet on a flash drive or?
Yes. So that's actually called a hardware wallet. It's not a flash drive. The hardware wallet. Okay, so let me explain something real quick. So when you go to SoulScan here, right? SoulScan right here. Okay, cool. So when you go to SoulScan here, this SoulScan is a browser for the blockchain itself. So the blockchain is living out in the wild. It has a bunch of transactions, and it records everything for you. Okay. If you want to go to, so when you click on holders, like right now we're at the TradeBot contract address. So this is where all the information for the TradeBot token is held. When you go to these accounts, these are all of the wallet addresses. Okay, so I can go in here and I can look at anybody's transactions here. So I can go here, I clicked on this. I don't know who this person is. I'm going to go to the portfolio, and I see that they have 34 million TradeBot, and that's all they have. So this is probably one of the word of mouth investors that got in early. Okay, so um, this right here is how you can view the blockchain. But if you want to actually interact with the wallet itself, so if I wanted to sell this, I need a UI wallet that lets me access this. So when I go here to Soulflare wallet, this is a UI, okay, that connects. It has the secret phrase. Remember the secret phrase, the 12 words? Because you have the secret phrase on this wallet, you now have permission to do actions with this address. Okay, so every one of these addresses has the 12 word secret phrase. If you knew that secret phrase, you can go in here and then take the money from here if you wanted to. Okay, so the thing is that this is a Soulflare wallet, but it's not really the wallet itself. This is just a UI for accessing this address. Okay, so what I mean by that is I can then take a Phantom wallet and I can import the secret phrase into the Phantom wallet, and I can then use the Phantom wallet to access the same address. Does that make sense? Wait, does that make sense to you? Like if this is, well, let me try it again. So this is a UI that accesses the information on here, and Phantom is a UI that accesses the information here. The money is not stored in Soulflare. The money is not stored in Phantom. The money is actually stored on the internet in the blockchain.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some guy at work just said, it wasn't safe keeping that kind of information on your computer and definitely not your phone. So I just,
Yes. Okay, so um, so he's kind of right. So like, let me give you an example. If you put the wallet on your phone, right? Um, and let's say you took a screenshot of your 12-word phrase and it's on your phone, right? And then you accidentally upload it to the cloud. That's an issue, because if somebody hacks your phone and they see that picture, they will then use that phrase to log into your wallet and then take your money. Another thing is there's a SIM card hack. So what they can do, let's say you're with Verizon on your phone, somebody can call Verizon and then say, "Oh yeah, I'm Wade. Here's my personal information to verify that," and then they'll get assigned your SIM card, and then now they have access to your account. And so if you took a picture of that, of that secret phrase and left it in the cloud, they now have access to it, and then they'll be able to take your money. Shoot, they might not even need to do that. They could just pay the Verizon worker like $100,000 to give it like that. This happened before. It didn't turn out well for the guys. They went to jail. They got caught. But that is a possibility. So you're right in that aspect. As far as keeping it in your browser, if just as long as you don't do crazy things with it or crazy things on your, like, the worst thing that could happen is like you go to a site and they install a keylogger on your computer, and now they're tracking all your passwords, right? And then if they can figure out a way how to get to your wallet with that 12 word phrase, boom, they can take the money, type of thing. So those are where the biggest risks are. Back to the hardware wallet. If you purchase a hardware wallet, you just got to make sure it's compatible with Solana, which I think most of them are. And then from there, you got to follow the instructions on connecting the hardware wallet to this UI wallet. And it's a straightforward process. You just got to go through and follow the instructions. But here's the thing: the hardware wallets have gotten hacked too, some of them. So there isn't really anything that is like super safe or like the safer than the other ones. All of these will have some risks. So what some people actually do is they'll actually split their money across multiple wallets, just in case one of them does get hacked.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any other questions?
Just one more question about that. So it seems like these wallets are tied strictly to those words,
Yes.
those 12 secret phrases. That's because that's how you get access to all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's no way to add more security to that in that sense. Like you can't just like,
No.
there's no other features you can add to your account essentially to make it
Yeah, but the
more like
thing,
verification.
correct.
It's just those words.
It's just those words to import it. Yeah. There's nothing
Yeah.
else you can do. And but the thing is that, to my knowledge, I mean, for years since 2010, so 14 years, has not been hacked, has not been broken. Just because of how many permutations you need. Even though it looks dumb and easy that it's 12 English words, there
Yeah.
are so many permutations of words that it's basically has not been cracked.
Right. But maybe the best bet would be to just split your wallets if you
Yeah.
have a huge amount of crypto, because yeah, you don't want them to have an easy access just to take everything from
Yeah,
you.
if you once you get up to like 100,000, then maybe that's when you got to start thinking about the strategy there.
Yeah. Okay. That was pretty much it.
Any other questions? Okay, let's see if anybody. Oh, Pilks cannot join the voice call. Oh shoot. Well, you can have a recording. I apologize for that, Pilks. We'll get that fixed. Is that it, guys? Any questions? All right. Well, this will be easy on my editor. The last one was like 2 hours long. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.
All right, you
Bye.
too.
Thank you.